Willie D Live.
What's up, family? The operator or captain of the boat that transported 18-year-old Nolan Wells to Horn Island has not been charged or even arrested. Yeah, fam. That is because law enforcement is saying that right now, currently, there is no evidence of foul play. There's no evidence of foul play. That's what they're saying. Well, I say different. These guys right here, I do believe, know what happened to Nolan Wells. I think they know what happened. In fact, I know they know what happened to Nolan Wells on July 4th, Independence Day, when he and his buddies, they all went out boating, having fun, and Nolan was the only one that didn't come back home. You know, there's something wrong with that picture. Let's start with the emergency towing dispatch call. When the boat experienced a bilge pump malfunction and called a private towing company for help, the operator told the dispatchers that everybody is on board and safe. Because Nolan Wells was left behind on the island, this was either a deliberate lie to mask his disappearance or a sign of gross negligence. Pick one. A deliberate attempt to mask his disappearance or gross negligence. Pick one. I don't know which one it is, fam. Maybe it's both. How about that? We just pick both of them. I just don't believe these dudes. I don't trust them. Their behavior is inconsistent with what a friend is. How many times have we seen friends abandon friends, so-called friends abandon friends when it gets hot in the kitchen? Now, here's the biggest reason why many people, especially legal experts, say that the captain should be charged. The captain should go to jail. It's the seaman's manslaughter and maritime law. U.S. maritime law, specifically 18 U.S.C. 1115, which holds a captain or boat operator criminally responsible if a passenger's death is caused by their misconduct, negligence, or inattention to duties. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, he's a grown man. He can do what he wants. He can come and go. No, not so fast. See, they got this thing called abandonment or reckless endangerment. I think we all can agree that leaving an individual behind on an uninhibited barrier island, especially without securing alternative transport, constitutes reckless endangerment or abandonment. Wouldn't you say? I absolutely would say that Nolan Wells was abandoned. Nolan Wells was caught up in the reckless endangerment of his captain. There you go. Listen, fam, if you can't accept the responsibility and the liability that comes with operating a boat, you should not be at the wheel. Point blank, period. You should not be at the wheel. Just like if you were inside of a vehicle, a car. If you can't handle it, you should not be at the wheel. They don't get no pass. I mean, come on, fam. Let's address the elephant in the room. Flip the race. Flip it and have 3 black boys, 4 black boys. The white boy hanging out with him. The white boy end up dead, floating. What do you think gonna happen? those black boys were still, they would have charged them. They'd be charged right now, no bond. They'd be trying to figure out, well, we don't know exactly if they did it or not. We don't know, but as a precautionary measure, we have given them, we've decided that if they're found guilty, they may end up with about 60 years apiece. So we're going to hold them based on what we think could happen in the future. We're going to keep them in jail for the public safety. These guys could be killers. Now, obviously, I'm being facetious, fam. I'm exaggerating and going on, but hey, that's really how a lot of them think. If they can get away with it, they would. The captain, whoever the captain was, needs to go to jail. Point blank, period. Somebody got to pay for this young man's life. Somebody's got to pay for this young man's loss of life. Somebody got to pay. The friends on board stated that Nolan Wells chose to stay on the island and hang out with another group, and they believe he was getting a ride back to the mainland with someone else. Well, we don't pay you to believe. We pay you to know. So you should have known, should have made sure. We come together, we leave together. If we let them continue down this rabbit hole of Nolan somehow ended up dead on the island, and he somehow drowned, then we have to ask them to produce witnesses, because by their own admission, there was hundreds of people out there. So how does the guy who is more unique by color drowns and nobody sees anything? Get out of here, man. Come on, fam. Born in the morning, but not this morning. Get out of here. He killed him. Point blank, man. Point blank. Nolan Wells was murdered. He was murdered. Point blank. Did I mention he was a strong swimmer? Not just a swimmer, but a strong swimmer. Now, I know even strong swimmers sometimes drown, they die, but usually if it's hundreds of people around, somebody seen something. At the very least, they heard the water splash. If you hear the water splash, you look around. Everybody accounted for it? Cool. Come on, fam. I've been on boats. I've been on a few boats. I don't like boats, by the way. But I've been on a few boats. And the whole time you're on a boat, the whole time I've been on a boat, I've never been just comfortable enough to just close my eyes and go to sleep. Well, I did once, and I woke up and the water was hitting against the windows, and I thought it was over. So never did that again. But that boat, those boats is nothing, especially the small boats. Nobody's sleeping on those small boats like that. Nobody's sleeping on those type of boats. And it's the 4th of July. It's going down, fam. It's going down. There's people everywhere. People having a good time. You saying nobody saw nothing? See, that's the part they can't answer. That's the part Warren Hudson can't answer. He didn't see nothing. And why did they leave so early? By his own admission, by the rest of them on admission. Hey, man, it was going down. It was partying. Everybody's out there. This is the destination. This is where everybody want to be. When the last time you left a party as a teenager before the party was over? It's 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock. They leave the island. Why? Why are they leaving? Why? That's another question they still haven't answered. Let's say let's say he was killed on the island. Why did they leave so soon? Why did they leave so soon? When you are a captain of a boat, you're responsible for the boat's occupants. If something happens to one of those occupants, you are responsible. You are responsible for the boat being the boat's upkeep. Whatever licenses that's attached to that boat, you're responsible for that if you're operating that boat. If there's something wrong with that boat, they said the bilge, they had problems with the bilge. If something's wrong with that boat, that's on you. You can be arrested. So what's the holdup with arresting the operator? And by the way, I don't believe they've actually told us who exactly was operating the boat. We know the boat belongs, well, we don't know, but they said, they be lying. But they said the boat belongs to one of the family members. Who? Which family members? Who did the boat belong to, and who was operating the boat? Yeah, the captain absolutely knows. Let me hit y'all with a cold-blooded reality. Let's say this case moves forward, one way or the other, whether arrests come down the pipeline or the case stalls out and they decide nobody's going to be charged, okay? These dudes who were involved, they're all going to be able to continue their life and have a bunch of fun and be accepted by their community, because the community they live in, they got the same type of mentality. There's others who have done what they did. Yeah. So they're going to be accepted. They're not going to be outcast. They're going to be accepted. And there's others who know the extent of their involvement, who are going to be quiet. They're not going to say anything, but they're going to think they're the good ones. Nope. You ain't no different. You just like them. You're absolutely just like them. Yeah. Your mom and your daddy is too. Lock them up. Lock them up. Lock those uncivilized mutts up. No more talk.